Well, thank you for that introduction, Julian. Ladies and gentlemen, well, the mayor of Tromsø had the pleasure to welcome you to Tromsø, and now I have the pleasure to welcome you to Troms, the county. We're located at 70 degrees north in the Arctic. And yes, we do have a lot of snow. We have great skiing possibilities, and it's an excellent and beautiful winter time. We are famous for our nature, our sea, and the northern lights. However, it is not all that we have. We have a rich cultural life. We have a variety of festivals, happenings, and exhibitions all year round, just to mention a few. The Arctic woman has grappled with spectacular nature and been challenged by a dark and cold climate for thousands of years. She has also and always established herself where there is a means of subsistence. So the Arctic Ocean, with its resources and transport routes, dictated today's settlement patterns. Through endurance, inventiveness, and the wisdom of ages, the inhabitants have created a vigorous society. Their accumulated knowledge is now applied to creating new solutions for a changing world. In modern times, the accessible sea and mountains, the northern lights, the dark winters, the midnight sun, the cold and often violent climate offer rich opportunities for recreation and experiences. But this is the Arctic, if you Google it. Snow and ice, polar bears, cute little cubs. And this is true, of course. But it's not the only truth. The Arctic also looks like this. In today's urban Arctic, people live secure, modern lives. They enjoy good infrastructure and have access to most services and cultural offerings. The landscape is full of contrast, and one can live in a built-up cities district, yet be within easy reach of peace and quiet and spectacular nature. The region has numerous special venues where people can meet, enjoy each other's companies, and engage in vigorous debate about social affairs. So in short, what is left out in the Google version of the Arctic are the people. But why is this a problem for us? Well, the reason is, of course, that this image gives a very wrong impression about what the Arctic is and what it should or could be. So let there be no doubt, the climate change and global warming is our time's most important issue. The Arctic oceans are some of the parts of the world where the negative effects becomes detectable first and be seen most seriously. However, we do see that some seems to think that the answer to this is to protect and preserve the Arctic from human activity. In March 2017, the EU Parliament, despite that the circumpolar globe is of minor importance to the EU member states, once again debated the issue of the Arctic, especially focusing now on the environmental issue and the Paris Agreement. Some of representatives went far in arguing for protection for the Arctic, from exploration of hydrocarbons, and a proposal for banning all of the Arctic from oil and gas was put forward. In addition, the debate included questions of which type of fuel should be allowed in the Arctic and restrictions of import of Arctic products, etc. And in something, the debate clearly showed that the combination of lack of knowledge and concern is a powerful and potentially explosive mixture. We share, actually we own, the concern about the climate. But we cannot accept that important matters that affect our lives and daily lives are debated and concluded on without our involvement. And therefore, we need to increase the knowledge of what the Arctic is. And therefore, I'm especially glad to see you here in Tromsø today. Some of the world's leading researchers in resource development and management in the Arctic climate are now established in this region. The scientific community has the knowledge and innovative capacity to make decisive inputs to issues of worldwide significance. How to solve climate changes and challenges and manage a vulnerable nature while feeding a steadily growing global population. Climate changes hit our part of the world early, with consequences for both ecosystems and the resources we have harvested so successfully for generations. The key to sustainable growth and development lies in the interaction between our world-leading scientific communities and wider world. By combining our knowledge and outward-looking culture with the natural resources of the Arctic, we can offer unique benefits to the world. We can transport fish by a trailer-long load along the narrow roads of outer Senja Island, send out submarine drones to take environmental measurements miles out to sea, and turn gales and storms into wind energy and hydrogen. Our people are rugged and resilient, so there are no human restrictions to prevent our Arctic resources from being of benefit to the rest of the world. UN figures suggest there will be a 9 billion human mouths to feed in 2050. But as we yet have only exploited 3% of the ocean's food resources, 80% of the Norwegian Sea is north of the Arctic Circle. And there is much to suggest that sustainable exploitation of Arctic resources will help to meet many global challenges, including the demand of food. So with generations of accumulated knowledge behind us, we are ready to meet the challenges of the changing world with fresh and innovative solutions. We need to explore, we need to master and protect our Arctic environment. And this has encouraged us to forge a knowledge-based community with high technical competence. In Troms, we do look outward to the world, manage the past, and work towards the future. We in the High North have unique Arctic skills, which enables us to both to harvest from nature and to master it. We are used to change between darkness and light, urban life and wilderness. Our collective experience in history, culture, and art gives us a perspective that cannot be replicated. So we must have a voice in the development of the High North, both for the benefit of our local communities, for us as a nation, and for the world. So thank you.